So you're used to seeing the crystal chips used in this way, right? With the crystals inside an essential oil roller bottle all by themselves, or now we have also with different herbs that come in our manifesting kits, right? So that is the simplest way, I would say, one of the simplest ways to use crystals with your essential oils. But it's not safe to use all crystals in that way. So I wanted to create this video on other ways to use crystal chips for two reasons. One, you may buy crystal chips in bulk from me or someone else. And so now you've got a whole bag like this of crystal chips to use, right? But you don't need all of them. Maybe you're not using all of them right now for roller bottles. What could you be doing with them in the meantime? And the other thing is, if you have crystal chips that you bought before you watched my videos on safety, before you found out that you shouldn't use them in roller bottles, let's say Tiger Eye or Labradorite or Fluorite, now you've got these crystal chips and you're thinking, well, that was a waste. What am I supposed to do with them? The good news is you can still use them, and we're going to talk about that in this video. So this is ways that you can use crystal chips with your roller bottles, but also beyond. Okay, do you hear this? Besides the sound of the essential oil sloshing around, there's also crystals in this. So we put them in the roller bottles because they're pretty, because you can fit a lot of them, because then that way the crystals are still have access to the sunlight, so they're still getting that nice rainbow spectrum of white light. But you can also store them in these darker bottles. Somebody asked me, is it actually safe to store them in clear bottles? Should you be storing them in dark bottles? Is there a problem with storing them in dark bottles? It's fine either way because the carrier oil is really the issue here. The carrier oil is what's going to go bad more quickly. So if you're taking out your crystals every time you use your roller bottle and they're all done, you are cleaning them, cleansing them, reinfusing them and putting them back in the water in the bottle. That's totally fine for the crystal to be in this clear bottle. But let's say you have a full bottle of essential oil and you love that oil by itself. You're not trying to make a recipe. You just want to use that oil. Put the crystals in here. It's the same thing. When you're done with this bottle, take the crystals out, clean them, cleanse them, infuse them, put them back in. Okay? So yes, you can absolutely use these dark bottles as well. Now, my caveat to that, of course, is that it still needs to be the crystals that are safe to store in your essential oils, in liquids. So the rest of these doesn't matter if they're the safe crystals to store in liquids. We're going to give you lots of other ways to use any crystal chip you want. Okay, so now method number 2 for using your crystal chips outside of the roller bottles. This one can be used for any crystal. It does not matter if it is safe to store inside a liquid or not. So this one, super duper 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 simple. Let's say I have this bottle of Stress Away, and I want to store it with crystals that are calming. I could put the crystals inside, like amethyst, blue lace agate, onyx, right? I could put them inside here. I could also put them outside of the roller. So let's do that. We take a bowl full of your crystals. You set it on the counter and you put in your essential oil. So now, of course, I still want to match the crystals. This is blue lace agate. You could also use blue calcite, amethyst, blue apatite, amazonite, all of those blue calming crystals, lapis lazuli. So any of your calming crystals you can use with a calming essential oil, etc., etc. Just match the crystal to the properties of the essential oil. Now, the only problem is when I take away this bottle, now it's not interacting with the crystals anymore. So you're only getting that benefit when they're sitting in there, right? Not when you are storing them, taking them on a trip, all that kind of stuff. So you do have to keep them together in order for the crystals to continually be infusing the essential oil. But it's definitely better than just not getting to use your crystals that aren't safe inside the roller bottles. And it's super easy, bowl, crystals, roller bottle. Okay, another beautiful and easy way to use your chips is just to lay them out flat on your counter in a little dish like this pretty ceramic dish here. Now, clear quartz I'm using in this particular case because it is very cleansing and can help to reset the energy of crystals. So now that I have this out, I can take any of my crystals that I want, and I can set them on this bed of clear quartz, and that is going to help to cleanse them over the evening or however long I'm leaving them there. You can also do this for your jewelry. Taking, for example, this necklace that I wear a lot and these earrings that I wear a lot. And this necklace is particularly for protection energy, labradorite obsidian, lapis lazuli when I'm doing public speaking. So it's helping me to process people's energy instead of allowing it to get stuck. So this needs a lot of cleansing, a lot of regular cleansing. So this is simpler than going through the process of doing the sage smudge, the cleanse, the reinfuse, all of that stuff. If I put this every night on the clear quartz, then I'm giving it a little love, a little cleansing every single evening. And then I would do that sage cleansing once a week or once a month, depending on how often I'm wearing it. So the idea for this next one actually came because I just got in these gorgeous floral tea light candles. They have lavender and rose petals. They're beautiful. They're from Turkey. They're handmade. They're totally clean burning. I got these candles because I wanted to give you guys an option for doing your ceremonies and not having to use a lighter to light your sage or your mugwort or whatever you're using for cleansing. Instead of having to continue to light it over and over with a lighter, you can just have a candle going. And then if you need to get the herb started again, if it stops smoking, then you can put it over the candle and get the smoke going again. So I got these tea lights and I started thinking, how pretty would that be if the tea lights were on a bed of crystals when you're doing your ceremony? So let me show you how that looks. So if we take the same bed of crystals, now my tea light can just sit right in there. It looks beautiful. I have the cleansing energy. You could also use amethyst, which is fantastic for meditation, for intention setting, all that good stuff. So now, obviously, when I light this, the wax is going to stay inside the tea light. I could use my bowl of blue lace agate and put this beeswax candle in there, but then the beeswax would drip all over this, and then I'd have to figure out how to get that off of the crystals. So it's best to use this with tea lights, but then we can do whatever crystal we want to. It's absolutely stunning. It adds to the energy of the ceremony, and you don't have to worry about the wax getting on the crystal. Okay, now this last one is the other one I was super, super excited to share with you guys. See what these are? These little tiny printouts. If you've ever seen these before, you know these are sacred geometry shapes, and you can use them for making crystal grids. So we sell crystal grids in the shop. I have a crystal grid workshop, but I've never done it before with crystal chips. But of course, it's totally possible because it has the same electromagnetic field and the same ability to organize that energy to create a wider effect, a bigger effect using the sacred geometry. So I've created some of these tiny little grids. I'm actually going to add a printable resource for you guys in the Crystals and Oils Blueprint course so that you can print out a bunch of these different ones, know what they're for, and then create different grids with your extra crystal chips. But let me show you just one example of this real quick. Okay, so here's what a full size looks like, right? These are our tranquility crystals on a flower of life grid. And then I've made a cute little mini. How adorable is this? Okay, so this is abundance crystals on a seed of life grid, and a seed of life grid is for specific goals. So perfect for doing like financial abundance goals. And all of these beauties, we've got clear quartz in the middle, carnelian, citrine, moss agate, green aventurine. All of those are safe in the essential oils. But then we also added tiger eye, which you couldn't store in essential oils, but you can certainly put on this grid. And the beauty of a tiny grid like this is that you can put it anywhere. On top of a stack of books, on your bookshelf, by your bedside table, anywhere that you can fit this little square of paper, you can put this crystal grid. So there you go, 5 fun ways to use your crystal chips besides just sticking them in a crystal roller bottle. Now, if you need crystal chips, as you know, I do sell them on the website in the roller bottles, but also by the ounce. So that way you can use them in your own roller bottle recipes or for any of these things we talked about today. To learn about the safety of which crystals can go into liquids, including essential oils, check out the video that I'm going to put right here. Learn all of the ones you can and can't use in liquids. If you have any that you're not supposed to use in your roller bottles, now you know what to do with them. Talk to you guys soon.